Hi, I'm Evie Warmbier again. This time we're going to talk about using the defibrillator cardioverter and how we're going to hook it up to Mr. Sinman. First of all, let's talk about this piece of equipment here. This happens to be a Phillips, and wherever you are in your facility, you will need to know how they operate as well. But you will find that the operations are going to be very similar. So first of all, when we look at this, we have 4 capabilities. It can monitor, it can manually defibrillate and cardioverter, it can pace, and it can be used as an AED. Just looking at it, the first thing you see here is this moving hourglass, and what that hourglass is telling you when it's going like that is that the batteries are working, the power's working, so it can do what needs to be done. If it's not, then you'll have a red X here on this particular model. So that's important. You want to know that you're going to be ready for use. The next thing you'll see here, this light tells you that it's plugged in, so it's now being charged as well. So let's turn the monitor on. Okay, that's the first thing we're going to do. We're just going to monitor. If you have a patient that, say you're not near a screen like that, you can always take your monitor to your patient and see what's going on. Now, as far as the lead capabilities, again, we only have 3 leads. Some of these machines you can actually do a 12 lead, but if you have a 12 lead, then you have to have the precordial leads in place for it to read the precordial leads. Okay, so now, if you'll remember, we hooked that screen up to this red and white spot right here, but now we want the patient to talk to this machine, or this machine to see what the patient is doing. So we're going to put these now on the metal pieces of Mr. Sinman. Okay. All right. So now we should have a screen here, and there we have a lead 2. If we want to change the lead to a lead 3, we can do that. 3 or a lead. That's the pads. Okay, so we can do 1, 2, or 3 here. So here's 2, and what it does is it continues and then goes down. Okay, the second row is off apparently. All right. If you have something going on and you want to record it, you're going to push this button. If you want to mark an event, you're going to push Mark Event, and that'll help you as far as you can say, okay, I gave epinephrine then, and you can mark it there, and it'll show you on here if you marked it. All right, so that's your monitor. If you want to defibrillate, then you need to do a little different system. And what we're going to do is we're going to hook this up. Now this is our way of helping you remember that you're putting on the pads like this. So let's put the red one where it goes, like this, and the white one up here. Now these go in here. So you need them both on. You need the monitoring ones and you need the working pads. So you have the monitoring pads and the working pads. As you know, that when you actually put these pads on, you're going to roll them on and you're not going to have any bubbles, so you don't have any skin problems. Okay, so now if I want to defibrillate, say the patient has gone into a rhythm that needs to be defibrillated, then what we'll do is we'll take it up to the power. All of these are biphasic. This is real power. So we want to do all the correct things of standing away, standing clear. I'm clear, you're clear, we're all clear. You say, I'm charging, stand clear. So number 1, here's the directions. Number 1, select the energy. Number 2, charge. Okay, and then this light will go on. I'm clear, you're clear, we're all clear, and then you shock. Okay, so that's basically the routine. Oh, he's now in bib. again. Charge. I'm charging. Stand clear. Everyone's clear. I'm clear. You're clear. We're all clear. And he's going into all these awful rhythms. Well, that looks like a PAT. Let's pretend like he's back into normal sinus rhythm again. If you need to pace, it's a little bit different. Or if you're going to, let's cardiovert first. Because if you're going to cardiovert, what do? We put it in synchronize. We want the machine to see the R waves. So the first thing we do is we put it in sync. These markings here, I'm going to turn this off. If this keeps going on, you can either open it up or turn it off. And this is your alarm that you can turn off. But you see here, it's synchronized. You see those little dots over the R waves. You must see those because you don't want to cardiovert. You don't want to shock in that vulnerable period. And then you go through this, you change, probably you'll go to 100. That's where we typically start. So we're going to go through this routine again. We're going to start with selecting the energy. So to cardiovert, we have our sync. Now we're going to go to 100. Then we're going to charge. Same thing. I'm charging, stand clear. I'm clear, you're clear, we're all clear. And we're ready to shock, so we shock. Okay, so that's defibrillation and cardioversion. Now we're going to do the pacing part of it. As we can see, our patient's heart rate is only at 40, and we need to kick it up a notch, okay? So I select my pacing option here on the monitor, and as you can see, it goes immediately into sync, and what that's telling you is it defaults to a demand mode. This pacer now sees the R wave, so you don't have to do anything with that. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want to select the rate. So I'm going to click the pacing rate, and it'll typically on this machine default to 70 beats per minute. I want to change it up to 80. What I do is right here I'm going to increase it to 80. I have to push this check button. That's like the enter button. When I click that, now my pacer rate is set at 80. Okay, now I'm going to start pacing. Okay, let's see. Okay, I don't have capture every time, do I? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to increase our output. So our output is at 75. You will find when you first turn this on, it'll default to 30 milliamps out. So I don't have capture all the time. I'm going to do it to 80. And watch it and see. Now I have a pacer spike and I have a QRS complex immediately afterwards. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to look and see if I have a pulse, aren't I? I need to have a pulse. Okay. One thing that I didn't mention on cardioversion is when you push the shock button on cardioversion, you need to hold it in until the shock gets delivered. And other than that, you're good to go.